What's up, everybody? This is Dylan. That's Justin. ManToManFootball here. Avid Longhorn fan, avid Cowboy fan, both avid football fans. Let's get it. All right, what is up, everybody? ManToManFootball. We're going to take a look at the first 18 picks of the NFL draft. We are kind of recording this before Wildcard Weekend, so we don't know exactly how 19 plus is gonna shake out, but we do know the first 18. So today we are just taking a look at those. Justin, man, let's jump right in. We are going to do it. You're going to do the odds. I'm going to do the evens. And so you got the number one pick, man. Who you got?
All right. Number one here, this is a tough decision. Man, oh man. I don't know who to pick here, guys. It's such a tough one. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's the number one and most hyped up quarterback we've heard about in quite a while. So easily. Jacksonville takes and locks in with 3 seconds left on the pick clock. Trevor Lawrence.
They'll take the whole 15 minutes too.
They sure will.
Make sure they get the whole TV time and it'll be great.
Yeah.
It'll be great, man. So pick number 2, we got the Jets coming up. For me, I'm taking a quarterback for the Jets. I know some people are making the argument Sam Darnold and all that. I do believe that Justin Fields is the second best quarterback in the draft. So I am going Justin Fields. I think that's the easy pick for me. And then whoever the new coaching staff is there, they've got their future quarterback that they can build around.
Yeah. Well, next up would be the Miami Dolphins, and there are a couple picks they could go here. Rumors that Tua Tagovailoa is he's a bust and all that. Completely disagree.
Completely.
But I think what they do need to do is draft another tackle. I think they need to take the best tackle in the draft right here, and you just can't pass on a more or less a future franchise left tackle. So Penny Sewell goes to the Miami Dolphins, passing up on Zach Wilson and Michael Parsons here.
And then at number 4, we do have the Atlanta Falcons. Kind of a tough pick, Justin. I really don't know. Are they kind of looking quarterback of the future here? I feel like they absolutely need some defensive help. I feel like they got some wide receivers, got some offensive pieces. Is Todd Gurley, going to be their future running back? I don't know. I mean, obviously there's not a running back to take this high or anything like that.
Right.
I think this is one of those kind of things where you kind of take best player available. You take defense. I think we kind of have to go Micah Parsons here.
Oh wow.
And give them some help on the defensive side. I do know that the Atlanta coaching staff, they love athletes. They always take, if two guys are similar as far as rating, they always take the fast guy. And so Michael Parsons fits that mold perfectly. Michael Parsons to the Atlanta Falcons.
Nice. Alrighty, Bengals up next. This is kind of a tough one because they would have loved to have Penny Sewell at number 3, but they just could not stop winning games the past 3 weeks. So it's kind of a tough decision. They need a tackle, they need corners, they need receivers. I've considered Jamar Chase here, a guy who opted out this year at LSU. But I'm taking Patrick Surtain, getting them some defensive help at corner. He's the number 1 corner out of this draft. 6'2". We did a little draft profile on him. I think you just can't pass up on a guy like that.
And I know you love him. He's long. He's a good athlete, and he could be a potential, lockdown. I think they've got a lot on offense there, kind of like what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Go get Joe Burrow some defensive help. Try to get the ball back for him. So I definitely like that pick. That puts the Eagles up at number 6. This is another kind of tough one. What are the Eagles now with Jalen Hurts at quarterback? What are some of their bigger needs? Because I feel like with the athletic Jalen Hurts may kind of cover up some offensive line issues. Carson Wentz was a bit of a sitting duck back there. The run game gets better. They drafted a bunch of wide receivers last year. I know they had a bunch of injuries. Did any of those guys really pan out? Jalen Reagor kind of came on strong at the end of the season. Again here, I think you really just kind of have to look at, who's going to be a really impact player for them and kind of put weapons around their young quarterback. I think Jamar Chase could be a very interesting pick here. A cornerback, I'm sure, could be an interesting pick here too. But I think I am going to go Jamar Chase, wide receiver. One of my favorite wide receivers in the draft. I think he's going to be a stud, walk in and play right away. And you get Jalen Hurts another weapon to throw the football to.
Wow. I think the Lions are pretty pissed at the Eagles right now, taking Jamar Chase. I think the Lions are definitely in need of a receiver to follow you up, but they also are in need of a couple of other positions. Do they try and replace Matthew Stafford yet? Do they let a guy sit on the bench this high? I don't really think so. I think they're more drafting for now than later. There are a couple teams that are in that position, but I do believe that the Lions here go with Gregory Rousseau. He's talked about to be one of the best pass rushers out of this draft. He's actually predicted to be a top 5 pick in some mock drafts, but I think Gregory Rousseau goes here to the Lions simply because Jamar Chase is not on the board. Hey guys, if you watched the video this long, like, subscribe down below. We appreciate you guys. Jumping right back into it.
I stole him from you. I like that. I
Yeah,
like that.
I mean, I think that's what's going to happen. The Eagles need receivers, and then the Lions are sitting right behind them, unless somebody makes a move up. But Jamar Chase is, talked about one of those generational wide receivers coming out of the draft. So
Absolutely.
I think the Lions are crying here.
Yeah, no, I feel that absolutely. So pick number 8. This kind of puts me in my first. This is one of those things that this isn't going to happen on draft day. Zach Wilson will not fall to 8.
Yeah.
Right. Somebody's going to trade up and go get him. No idea who that could be. But if I'm sitting here and I'm the Panthers at 8, and Zach Wilson is still on the board, you don't even wait the 15 minutes. You have that card is ready. It's printed. The jersey's ready. Zach Wilson is a Panther, Justin.
I love
This
it.
is a guy. You look at the offensive coordinator. You look at what he's done. With Joe Burrow, what he did with Teddy Bridgewater, what he did with that. I forget his name right now. The quarterback from the AFL that came in and played really well for a couple games there. You give him an arm talent like Zach Wilson, and watch out, man. The Panthers are going to be for real.
Absolutely. All right, moving on to the Broncos pick here. Zach Wilson just went ahead of them. I do think the Broncos will probably go with a tackle in this position. They're trying to protect Drew Lock. They've also talked about moving on from him, but I don't think there's a quarterback worthy of a top 10 pick here. There will be a couple more first round quarterbacks to go, I think, later in the
Absolutely.
draft, but I don't think it's best available here. I think Rashawn Slater goes to the Broncos.
All right, Justin, at number 10, your Dallas Cowboys. I'm so happy I get to pick for your team here. I am gonna go. I'm gonna make a little bit of a jump here. This is a bit of a stretch projection. I do think I've kind of said this to you before. I think when pro days roll around, when scouting combine rolls around, all that stuff, I think Joseph Osai from the University of Texas is going to really jump up the board. Okay, I think the I think the Dallas Cowboys can get themselves an impact edge defender, somebody who's going to help their defense day one in the NFL. I think that's the play. You're re-signing Dak. That's something that you're passionate about. You help your defense out here. Bang. Going to the Super Bowl next year.
Oh man, what a weird number 10 pick. Because I mean, we need help everyone on the defense, so I can't disagree with you there. So I mean, take the best available, and if the guy has an unreal combine, why not?
I think he's too good of a player. I think people are sleeping on him right now. He was one of the best run stoppers in the Big 12. He was the best pass rusher on the Longhorns team. Okay, he was a consensus All-American as a defensive end, edge defender, whatever you want to call him, outside linebacker. It really doesn't matter what you call him. You put him on the field, he's a playmaker. He's a great guy too, right? He's a great kid. He's soft-spoken. He's humble. He's all that. Obviously, I'm a little biased because I'm a Longhorn fan. I love the guy. I think the Cowboys could love him for years.
We'll see. Up next, New York Giants, who were looking to be wild card contenders this year. Didn't happen, thankfully. But either way, they are on the board in need of a lot of things. Giants need a long way to go. Way longer way to go than the Cowboys. Somehow we got 10 over them, but I'm just talking mess. So, do they go corner here? Do they go quarterback, tight end? They're looking. I've heard rumors that they're trying to move on from Daniel Jones. I really do believe that the Giants go best available here with Jalen Waddle still on the board at 11, drafting a receiver for the young quarterback Daniel Jones. Jalen Waddle to the Giants, picking up a little speed there.
I love that. I'm actually curious. I was curious if you were going to go quarterback there. I really was with Daniel Jones. Not nobody kind of being sure, what's going on there. But hey, get him a weapon, and if whoever the quarterback, they gotta have somebody to throw
Yeah,
to.
somebody
Um,
somebody there will be happy.
yeah.
I've liked Daniel Jones. I think he needs a little more development. He needs like a confidence booster out there in New York, but he just I don't know. He he's got a long way to go. I think they'll try to find a different quarterback, but I don't know if you draft a quarterback this high just yet. But hey,
Uh,
if you're looking at the future, maybe go for it, but we'll see.
I hear you. So that brings us to pick number 12. The 49ers, Justin, were injury riddled this year. This is a team that we definitely thought was going to go right back to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Just absolutely too many injuries. I do have a question for you before we even kind of get into who they could pick here. Do you think that they could be moving on at quarterback? Jimmy Garoppolo kind of dinged up a little bit. I get all that, but when he was in, didn't really look great. Wasn't super impressive. Do you think there's potential they even go quarterback, even consider quarterback here?
There are actually rumors right now that they're looking at trading for Carson Wentz since Jalen
Oh,
Hurts is taking over. But
hmm.
those are some huge rumors coming out right now, even right after the NFL season's over for them. But yeah, I've heard rumors, so I think they're more in the market for a quarterback prior to the draft. So I don't think they go quarterback here this pick.
Okay.
I'm interested to see what you think, but
Okay. So what I think about that, and just on kind of Carson Wentz a little bit, Carson Wentz is not athletic at all, and I think the 49ers would really like to use the bootleg and stuff off the play action game and have a little bit more mobility from the quarterback spot, which is I think another thing that like Jimmy Garoppolo kind of holds them back a little bit. So I'm kind of surprised to hear Carson Wentz even kind of being considered there. But I mean, who knows? Who knows?
right.
Maybe the right team, right system. I mean, I don't know, man. I hear what you're saying though. They may not draft a quarterback, so I'm kind of sitting at this and looking here. Who is a impact guy that's going to come in and help the team will be back and healthy next year, help them contend for another Super Bowl. I think there could be real consideration that they go Devontae Smith, Alabama wide receiver. This guy
Oh,
could win the Heisman. This was the player of the year in college football. This is a phenomenal wide receiver. You pair him up with Brandon Ayuk, and kind of again, it doesn't really matter who their quarterback is. They're going to have a buffet of weapons to throw the football to.
right. Devontae Smith. Interesting. All right, Dylan. Moving on to the Chargers here. They need offensive help. Sam Cosmi
Defensive help.
sitting on the board. Defensive help. They need a lot. Chargers have been in a lot of close games this year. They could have won quite a bit of them, but they need an impact playmaker. They need help everywhere. Do they go with Sam Cosmi this high in the draft? Is a Texas player on the offensive line not worth it? Coming from a Cowboy fan, no, not worth it.
Dang, man,
Talking
dang.
talking to you, you know who. You're sitting at left guard for us. I think they go with the best available. Technically, at this point, Caleb Farley would have surpassed his projected. He was a top, more or less like a top 10 pick at corner. I think they go with him at the corner position. They need defensive help. Caleb Farley to the Chargers. This has been an interesting draft, Dylan.
Indeed, indeed. That brings us to number 14 with the Vikings. I think this is an interesting pick. I think the Vikings probably their biggest need is defense, right?
Right.
They really need to kind of find some pass rush, kind of find some playmakers on the defensive side. I think we still have a Michigan edge defender sitting here, the eighth projected best player. I think the Vikings have plenty on offense. The running backs, the wide receivers. Kirk Cousins. You kind of just live with the good and the bad there. Justin Jefferson throwing the football to him, all
Come
that good
on,
stuff.
Kirk,
So,
throw the ball.
yeah, they're paying him a lot of money to be a hit or miss quarterback.
They sure are.
But at the same time, you kind of that's the situation you put yourself in. You got to roll with it. So you get their head coach a little more help on defense, and you draft Kwity Paye.
Paye, I think is how you
Yeah, however
say
you
it.
say that name.
Paye. All right, New England Patriots up. I'm actually really excited for this pick. Do they move on from Cam Newton?
Oh,
Another giant quarterback pick. Do they draft a Trey Lance? Do they, what do they do with this pick? Do they draft the best available tight end coming out of the draft? You know how they love their tight ends. Do they
yeah.
draft an offensive lineman? New
So
England. Go
this is
ahead.
another one. If I can just inject real quick, I was kind of talking about how Zach Wilson won't make it to number 8. I don't think the Patriots will sit at number 15. I definitely think they'll move up. One of these quarterbacks will kind of be there, be needed by the Patriots. So I don't think these guys are picking at 15. Just don't exactly know how the board will shake out yet. Things like that. So, but obviously with you being here right now, you got to make a pick for him. So go on ahead.
Yeah, and if like again, we're drafting, not projecting any trades or anything like that. We're just drafting straight up right now. Um, I agree. Someone's going to trade up to go get a quarterback. There are a lot of teams in need, and someone's going to go get somebody. So this draft will probably shake up on draft day, which is one of the best things about this draft. Um, but as of right now, just drafting straight up, I do believe the New England Patriots go pick Kyle Pitts. They love their tight ends.
Okay.
Drafting the best tight end
Okay.
available, taking the best available on the board.
I
Two
like
more
it.
picks left.
I
Kyle
like
Pitts is
it.
gone.
I love that. They need wide receiver help. They love them some tight ends.
And,
So
and
you might as
he,
well get the both in all in one.
yeah, the guy can do everything. So I wouldn't say he's like the best pass blocker in general, or blocker in general.
Run blocker.
But
Yeah,
yeah, but Kyle Pitts can move. Watch his highlights. He just outruns everybody. So
I hear you.
it's gonna be interesting if New England gets that Gronk-esque player back. They love their tight ends. So
I hear you. All right, and at pick number 16, that brings us to the Arizona Cardinals. I love Kyler Murray, Justin. You know that. I've been talking about him all year, hyping him up. Didn't quite have the year that I expected. Some of the reason for that is because he did get a little dinged up. Did do a lot of running around this year. So what I'm looking for here is protect the franchise, protect the quarterback. I do know the Cardinals have some tackles that they really like. They drafted one last year in the 3rd round they like. So I'm looking interior offensive lineman here. USC has one. Elijah Vera Tucker. Interior offensive lineman, USC is my pick for the Cardinals.
Elijah Vera Tucker to the Cardinals. I would like to add, if I had that pick, Dylan,
Go ahead.
I think that to change a little bit of the identity of the Arizona Cardinals, I do think they go running back there and would draft Travis Etienne.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think that would have been my pick, but hey, that's why we're
No, I hear
doing
you.
this. So
I hear you.
I
I mean,
think
I feel like with
they would love a true full-fledged running back that can do it all, and I think Travis Etienne could be that guy for them. But hey,
absolutely hear that. Absolutely. I think they have enough with Chase Edmonds and Kenyon Drake there. And they both of them get better with offensive line upgrading. So that's kind of what I'm thinking there.
I
And then
hear you.
again, I guess you can protect the quarterback by running the football too, but that's kind of a Cliff Kingsbury thing. They're gonna sling the rock around, and Murray's gonna run all over the field anyway. So
Next up, we have the Las Vegas Raiders picking at 17. These guys are in need of a lot of defensive help and as well as offensive help. There are a couple tackles, good tackles left on the board. I think they pass again on the Texas tackle and draft Christian Darrisaw from Virginia Tech, possibly moving this guy to a guard or something of that nature. Just in general, need offensive line help. And I truly believe if you play offensive line, you can play anywhere on the line. So, especially if you're playing tackle. So I think they might move him around. Christian Darrisaw to the Las Vegas Raiders.
I like that. I like that. All right, and pick 18 is the second pick for the Miami Dolphins. What can they use here? Some defense would be nice. I think that this is another team. You were kind of talking about the Cardinals. I think this is another team that could really use a really good running back. that could potentially be looking at kind of one of these guys in the first round. I personally am more of a fan of Najee Harris than Etienne. Najee Harris is a do-everything super athlete, giant running back who is absolutely balled at Alabama. And I think he can absolutely do the same for the Miami Dolphins. And you give Tua Tagovailoa a workhorse to hand the football to. Najee Harris, running back Alabama, is my pick for the Dolphins.
Yeah, and I got to say, Alabama is the literal running back factory for the NFL. So I can't see, I don't know if people pass on Travis Etienne, but for a Alabama running back, I think it's kind of worth passing on a guy just because Alabama has a gigantic long list of history with running backs going into the NFL and just producing.
Yeah.
We'll probably get to see a couple of them.
Well, one of the things I worry about with Travis Etienne as well, and he's a great running back, right? Don't get me wrong. He's broken like all the records there. He's been a workhorse for 4 years at Clemson.
Right.
Like, I mean, you talk about, you know, the body can only take so much wear and tear. I mean, that dude has been feasting, but he's also had a lot of carries in college. Najee Harris the last 2 years has definitely had some carries, but he doesn't have anywhere near the touches Etienne has.
Right.
And has been, you know, completely productive, explosive in his own right, and has helped, you know, that Alabama offense be as explosive as it is.
All right, Dylan. So wrapping this thing up, Trevor Lawrence obviously going number 1. Justin Fields going to the Jets. Penny Sewell at 3. Micah Parsons. That's one of my interesting picks, I think.
Okay.
I don't know if do the Falcons go get a quarterback there? Do you think that's a thing?
I mean, they absolutely could consider that.
It's such a weird spot. That could be a spot where somebody goes and trades up for him.
There you go.
Also, the Bengals could get traded up. They do have a future franchise quarterback. They could just try to draft a wealth of pick rather than just one guy. I would not be surprised if the Bengals try to trade down and get a couple more picks out of that number 5. Do you think anything? What would be something you assume happens in this draft coming up April 29th?
So somebody trades up for whoever the number 3 quarterback is.
Yeah.
So you know, and you kind of hit on it too with the Bengals. I mean, they may trade up to get Sewell, right? I mean, they may value him that high, in protecting their quarterback. But I absolutely think, you know, like I said when we were recording, Zach Wilson doesn't fall to 8, right? Like that just doesn't happen.
Right.
I don't know, you know, even if you know we get to the draft and Zach Wilson is kind of rated out as the number 2 quarterback and Justin Fields is number 3, like it doesn't matter which one it is. Whoever the number 3 quarterback is, they don't fall to number 8.
Yeah.
Somebody will trade up and go get one of those guys.
Yeah, I agree. And there's a lot of teams that need a quarterback here. I do think the Panthers need one. They're one of those teams that Zach Wilson probably could go to, and the Panthers could go up to go get him.
Yeah. I think he'd be phenomenal in their offense.
So I think there's a lot of things that could happen here. Just to wrap things up, I'm interested to see if Joseph Osai goes to my boys at 10. That'll be an interesting one for me.
Yes, sir. All right, everybody. Like I said, that was we were just covering the first 18 today. After the Super Bowl, we'll probably run this again, do a full first round, kind of see where everybody shakes out. And then obviously throughout the offseason, we'll hit it again, combine, all that before the draft. But this was fun today. This was kind of our first attempt at the mock draft. Justin, any kind of last little thing here before we close this out?
Joseph Osai's not going to the Cowboys.
I love it.
Nah, man, that's it, man. Appreciate y'all staying tuned to ManToManFootball throughout the video. Like, subscribe down below, guys. Appreciate it.